Well, every week that we come in to film ODT TV, we like to touch base with the American election. It seems to be ramping up towards what some are saying are an inevitable end, which would be a Clinton win. However, Donald Trump has come out very strongly in the last couple of days talking about the election being rigged. Let's just have a bit of a quick listen as to what exactly the kinds of allegations are.
As you have seen, I am a victim of one of the great political smear campaigns in the history of our country.
So he's saying that it's going to be rigged. He's also pointing towards evidence which doesn't exist in the slightest. I can tell you that there was a university in America called Loyola Law School. They did a study of 1 billion votes, right? So I think it was from 2000 to 2015. So there was 1 billion votes that they investigated. 31 of them were proven to be election fraud. So there is no evidence of election fraud. There is no evidence going to happen. And of course, you have to ask the question of someone basically before the game starts saying they're going to steal it from me. Imagine the All Blacks, you know, a few days out from the Test match saying, oh, the Wallabies are going to cheat this weekend. You got to ask your question, you know, what is actually going on there? Well, President Obama had a bit of an answer to that. He just thinks, after explaining what is happening with Donald Trump and how Donald Trump is thinking that everyone's going to steal things from him, that maybe he's just a bit of a whiner.
That is both irresponsible and, by the way, doesn't really show the kind of leadership and toughness that you'd want out of a president. If you start whining before the game's even over, if whenever things are going badly for you and you lose, you start blaming somebody else, then you don't have what it takes to be in this job.
And one of the situations that that Barack Obama was speaking about was actually the idea that Donald Trump is talking about this thing's rigged and they're going to steal it from me. He's talking about places like Ohio and Florida. Now, Ohio and Florida are actually run by Republicans. They have Republican Senate, Republican governors. The people who actually run the polling on the days are organised by Republicans. So what he's actually saying is they're going to steal it from me, and they're going to steal it from me in states that actually are Republican, even though he's the Republican nominee. So it doesn't make a lot of sense, but then again, it's fairly clear that at the moment Donald Trump is running a bit of a scorched earth sort of a theory to try and basically, you know, if I'm going down, I'm taking everyone down with me. In the polls, it's good news for the Democrats. If you have a look at the latest poll of polls, it has Hillary Clinton up by around 7 points. And you can see there very clearly that other than the LA Times USC tracking poll, which always has Trump for some reason, Hillary Clinton is vastly ahead of Donald Trump. And it's a very unlikely thing that perhaps Donald Trump will win the election looking at those numbers, unless Hillary Clinton stuffs it up. Hillary Clinton could quite easily, well, not quite easily, but could actually snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. If Hillary Clinton doesn't win this election, and you're a Hillary Clinton fan, that is, then you need to blame the heads of the DNC who railroaded Bernie Sanders out of the equation. Bernie Sanders would be wiping the floor right now with Donald Trump, but in some states, whilst Hillary is ahead and trending ahead, it's within margin of error. So whilst it might be an 80% win for Hillary Clinton, if it was anyone else from the DNC, it would be done weeks ago. Up to and including stuff that's still coming out about Hillary Clinton. So we have some more video for you about a story that's just come out in the last 24 hours that part of Hillary Clinton's camp, not her camp for the election, but when she was working in the state office, wanted to reclassify classified emails. In other words, there was classified emails, and they tried to get that classification changed after they were classified so she could then have plausible deniability. And it hasn't worked. Have a look at this.
The controversy surrounds one email about the Benghazi attacks, the very first of Clinton's emails to be retroactively classified as secret last year, in direct contradiction of her early claims.
There is no classified materials.
According to FBI interviews, Clinton's Undersecretary Patrick Kennedy began pushing security officials to see their way clear to marking the email unclassified. One FBI contact told Kennedy he would look into the email matter if Kennedy would provide authority concerning the FBI's longstanding request to increase its personnel in Iraq. The FBI official then called a colleague who told agents he felt pressured to change the classified email to unclassified as part of a quid pro quo.
So for many people, it's a bit of a pox on both their houses. You have the most hated, according to polls, the most disliked member ever attempting to be president in Donald Trump. And the only reason he's still in the race is the geniuses at the DNC decided to elect as their nominee, literally the second most hated, most disliked nominee there's ever been. It is a race to the bottom, and I'm not going to say who we hope wins, because I guess that's up to you. It is a race to the bottom, and the best of the worst two nominees there have ever been will likely be our next president. Yeehaw.